Welcome to All Girls Final. It is Kasey, Afton, Courtney breaking down what happened with last night's Survivor 50 episode. And guess what?
You watched.
I watched a lot of it. About an hour.
I'll take a lot.
Yeah.
I forgot about it, and at like 7:26, I flipped it on. They were in the middle of the challenge, and Jeff was competing.
That's right. Ooh, Afton has thoughts.
Afton texted me last night this.
I don't text Kasey because I don't.
You don't want to spoil
I
it.
kept looking at my phone because I was like, if something happens, I'm texting her.
Well, because I always want to save it for in here, but I'm like, well, Courtney's not watching, so I can just throw this out there. Well, she watched.
Here's what it said at 8:48. I'm so mad at this episode, I might quit watching this dumb show.
Oh my gosh.
I was hot.
Then I wrote her back, and then she said that Jimmy Fallon thing was the dumbest thing ever.
Yeah.
I am so mad, and my anger started with Jeff in the challenge, which was also Jimmy Fallon's fault. And it ended with how the Jimmy Fallon twist played into the whole thing, and I was just like, I can't. And then when they showed the preview for Mr. Beast next week, I'm like, I don't know if I can do this.
Right. So should we just start from the top? Where did we come back to? I guess coming back to camp after.
I heard I missed a lot of drama there.
Yeah, so I feel like when we came back to camp after, it was the
Double.
Yep, it was the aftermath of the Rick Devens fake idol extravaganza.
Where Coach and Chrissy got eliminated.
And everybody was kind of mad at Devens for doing that, and like he's got a huge target on his back, blah, 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 which I don't disagree with.
But everybody made a real spectacle about what Rick did.
Yes.
And that kind of shocked me because while we agree it was not a good move, it took a lot of heat.
Yes. And I thought it was, I mean, these are some of the most explosive moments from Tribal that you remember forever, these big moves like this. And so I think it actually was a good move as a fan to watch it. I don't think he played it exactly right. I think he should have worked out every angle of what could have come up as far as questions or explanation or how this is going to work, and he didn't. I thought immediately, I wrote in all caps, don't tell Emily anything, Rick. Just don't tell her
No one
anything.
tell Emily anything.
She's a liability. Don't tell her. So I was surprised that he did that. But yeah, it just kind of turned into a lot of immunity challenge scramble, like trying to talk.
I like that you got to see the after effect of what happened at the tribal council.
Yeah. I was just surprised that people were so like, he put on a show, and it's like, yeah, of course he did.
That's the name of the game.
This is what we're doing here.
Yeah, it's shocking to me that they would be so surprised by this.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, so then we go to the immunity challenge, and Jeff reveals, I never knew until all the clips showing him yelling at people how brutal he was. I thought he was Mr. Sweet Guy. I didn't know he was Simon Cowell.
Oh, he was sassy over the
early
years.
seasons are hysterical to go back and watch because you just don't see him talk that way to players anymore.
No, and he was kind of known for it, and I loved seeing the old clips of Jeff. That really made me happy because that's the Survivor that I think we're missing. And that, Courtney, you sent us that article about about Jeff.
I sent you an article.
You did.
Get that?
I read
we both read it.
About the problem with this season Survivor is Jeff.
And I think we are missing that old Jeff that really kind of like criticized the players and stirred things up. We don't have that anymore, so I really liked seeing that. I was glad they worked that in.
I know. When you read that article, what did you think about it, Court?
Well, I've always been the kind of person that doesn't love when the host is put into the show too much. They should just be there to move it along. I don't like it when they become a starring role in it. And I understand that he is the biggest star from Survivor because he's been the face of Survivor since it started. But this season 50, it seems like we're getting a lot more nonsense Jeff stuff than ever before.
Yes, and I think what we loved about why people love Jeff so much is because of all of those years of him as the host, and that's not the same version of Jeff that we're getting in season 50. And it's, I guess, been kind of heading that way for years.
You know what I like in it too? My least favorite dancer on Dancing with the Stars, and I don't watch that either, But man, every time I see Derek Huff's face, it bothers me because he wanted from the very beginning, I'm talking his first season, he forgot he wasn't the star. And there was actually a star he was dancing with. And that personality, I just don't get along with those people. And I understand what you're doing. This is your moment. You're on a TV show. I understand for the Derek Huffs of the world, and people do love him. I don't know why, but
it's like James Corden.
James Corden also.
Who would make the carpool karaoke's more about him than the singer or celebrity that he has in the car.
But I honestly don't think it is Jeff's fault. I think it is the way they've put this together from just hearing from you guys and the people that love the show and why they love the show and what they're bugged by. They're bugged by these added extra things that were never a part of Survivor. They're going too much in on the cutesy stuff and not enough in on the actual what Survivor was started for.
I'm curious if they've already filmed 51, assuming that they have.
I bet they have.
Because every year at the finale, they give you a look at the next season. But I'm a little bit hoping that they haven't filmed it yet so that they're taking notes because this season's getting a lot of criticism.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I hope they change a lot of these things. Usually, though, what happens is you get 2 seasons worth of bad things that they've added, and then because we got 2 seasons of the hourglass flip thing that led that one girl to win.
Right.
What was her name? Erica, maybe?
Yeah, and then they switch it up.
And then it took 2 seasons to get past it because they had already filmed it with that in and then couldn't take care of the backlash until the next season.
I think 49 and 50 are sister seasons because they were filmed 2 weeks apart. So I'm really hoping that maybe they can take some criticism into 51 and make the 50s a distinguishable decade since the 40s have such a soft, label.
Yes.
Yeah, because people do talk about skip all these seasons.
Skip all the 40s, yeah.
I enjoyed Jeff being involved in the
challenge.
Yeah, I did. I thought it was, if they've never done it, that's funny to me.
I like it if this is the only time it happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. As a novelty moment.
It looked terrible, by the way.
He did
my forearms
so bad.
were hurting me.
Yeah.
Watching them.
Oh, that is a brutal challenge. I think it's fine to let Jeff take a stab at it for him to see how hard it is or whatever. But I don't like that there were stakes on the line for it because the 40s era has been known for this rice negotiation that happens every year, and it kind of evolves a little bit each season. And I think that's been an interesting twist that they've put in the game where he's like, okay, I need this many people to sit out because it shows who feels like they're comfortable and who doesn't, or who's willing to sacrifice and who's not. And so I think it brings a cool element to it, but I didn't like that they had to wager against Jeff to get that piece of it. I don't think that anything that he's competing in should have any actual bearing on the game.
Yeah, because he's full. He's eaten.
Right.
He's well rested.
Yes.
He just happens to be not very good at that.
Right.
I said to Nick during that challenge, I'm like, you would crush this challenge because Nick works those parts of his forearms and grips. He works out with those. He has a weight. And
interesting.
Because it's for golf.
Yeah, for the grip.
And he also has this little spinning thing that gets your wrist really strong.
Interesting.
That's so funny.
I'm like, you would have killed this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he would have.
I bet he would.
As soon as I saw the challenge, I said to Jack, now this is something that I would walk in, see, and know I'm dropping immediately because I'm not wasting my strength on something like this. I would not win. And I think it's really funny that Jeff did as bad as he did to prove how hard these challenges are and just how deep you've got to dig to stay up there.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like when they say you should put a regular person in the Olympics so you can see it. It was kind of like that. But yeah, I didn't like that.
You didn't like the rice.
Yeah, and I think
layer.
To your point, if you are somebody who comes into that challenge and you're like, well, I'm going to be terrible at this, you're somebody who's going to go, I'll sit out because I know I'm not going to win, so I'll be one of the ones who will sacrifice for the rice because I'm not going to win this thing anyway. So that's where that comes into play.
And as soon as he brought out that bag of rice, Ozzy's looking down, I think Cirie, I think Rizzo, I think a handful of people would have sat out for it.
Yes. So, and they didn't let him do that.
I didn't see any of that. I turned it on mid Jeff struggling.
Yeah, that set me on the wrong foot for the rest of the episode, and especially in my beef with Jimmy Fallon. Like, they made Jeff too much a part of that, and it was all because of him. And then the rest of it, I mean, just like Christian, just a blind rage.
As I mentioned last week, before we move on, I wished that we had more. So if we were going to put celebrities in the game, I wish there was more than just a Billie Eilish idol. I appreciate now that like we've had a Zach Brown reward. We've had a Billie Eilish idol. Now we've had a Jimmy Fallon twist. But I think something that they should have done is made that an every episode staple. Like every episode gets its celebrity rather than we're still friggin' talking about Billie Eilish idols. Or now Jimmy Fallon's in the mix and he gets a whole episode of tearing Christian's game apart.
Oh,
Go on.
awful.
Yeah, so that was the big thing at the end. Somebody got to go off on their own, and they didn't know what it was.
Right.
Well, and from watching this, that happens, and it can be good and bad, right?
Yeah.
So
and
it's a risk.
it is a risk, but I mean, we've seen it play out well for people. And, you know, you get to go, and because of that, you're safe for the whole night. You're stuck there.
Because Ozzy really wanted it too.
A lot of people did.
And he was hot, but it was the best thing that he didn't get picked.
Yeah, but and I thought it was not fair of Emily to say, like, well, Christian, you shouldn't have gone on this. Like, this is your own fault. I don't think that's a fair assessment of the situation.
She's just not putting herself up for any kind of... she's trying to make moves, and they're bad moves. I just watched her game last night, and it's like, she's not making smart moves, but she's also not going to risk her neck either.
Right.
This season's not a good look for Emily. But something Jack pointed out during the episode was, what a good move on Joe to say, decide amongst yourselves who's going.
I liked that too.
I'm not picking. I loved that because he didn't put himself in the fire at all.
I totally agree with you on that. I think that was a good call.
So he gets on this...
yeah, he's
thing
on the
water.
like, dock in the
Journey,
middle of
yeah.
nowhere, and he's doing that puzzle. Who did he say did it before?
I think Rachel Lamont did
Rachel,
it.
yeah.
And when she did it, it completely changed the trajectory, and she went on to win the
And
game.
it would have changed the trajectory had
I
he
think
won.
it could have had a really awesome effect on his game.
I liked the positive twist that would have come out of it had it been he won.
Had he
I
won.
liked the one in the urn. I'm like, that didn't bother me at all. But I think the reverse of that was so harsh that there was no way he was going to escape that. I mean, you've already got one in the tank for Christian, and his vote is essentially out. It would be stupid not to go for him.
What do you think if... okay, so wait. If he wouldn't have taken... if he would have decided to not do the puzzle, what would have happened?
I don't think he had the choice to not do the puzzle.
Yeah, once you show up, you have to do it
Okay.
this year.
What if the challenge was still as it ended and he lost, but he didn't have to reveal that to the rest of the rest of the people?
I think that's
What if he still had to
fine.
vote for himself, but he didn't have to
But he
tell
didn't
anyone?
have to go back and read that envelope.
Yes.
Yeah, the loss was really heavy on this challenge compared to the win. I feel like the loss really outweighed what the win had to
Yes.
offer.
Because you could have seen his gameplay, even though he knows he's voting for himself because he has to.
Yeah.
But isn't that what the game is all about? Making moves and really essentially bluffing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that would have shown a little more gameplay if he would have had to write his name down and then bluffed it.
Right.
I liked the twist of having to take the envelope back and read something. That way we feel like we're in on it with the tribe. Like, what's it going to say? Oh my God, this is going to
Yes,
be
I liked
crazy.
that too.
But it just ended up being so harsh. And then it was like right there in front of the entire tribe. I think everyone's minds were made up like,
Yes.
oh, well, this is cake.
This
He's
is
already,
easy.
Yeah.
This is easy, and it's not fair. And I think, let's do this historic thing. No one in Survivor history has ever been able to vote for themselves. Yeah, no one wants that. That's stupid.
Why would you
There's a
sacrifice
reason.
your life and possibly a win for writing your own name down?
And I think Christian really caught on to all of this because I think I've needed time to process whether or not I liked that journey twist. But I think for Christian, it hit him really hard because we saw such a different side of his personality in last night's episode. He's always so happy-go-lucky. I can fix this. I can twist this. He was down on himself at that challenge.
Yeah.
He was at Tribal with an attitude. He was coming at Jeff Probst, and I didn't know if he was sarcastic or not.
You couldn't really tell.
So I think that even the players are starting to weed out the BS of this season.
It was terrible.
Well, okay, as somebody that does not watch the show, just from last night, that Christian, it was not a good look for me as an outsider.
Totally.
I highly disliked him. I didn't like the way he talked.
Well, you've been after Christian ever since he got out Mike White.
Yeah, so maybe it was a little bit of that.
Courtney's a day one Christian hater.
Yeah, I don't like him. He bothers me.
Yeah.
And then I had no idea which way it was going to go because I'm thinking in my head when they were all making their moves and that dumb Angela,
Emily.
whatever her name is there an Angela?
There was Angelina.
No, I don't know her.
lashes.
But that Emily trying to make her moves, she just, and then in tribal council, she always says stupid things too.
Yes, she always comes across badly.
Yeah.
I don't think
She doesn't side with people that she's supposed to be on the side of. But anyway, I had no idea what was going to happen. And in my head, I'm thinking when Cirie was with that other girl and they both, Tiff once, she's like, we got to get rid of her.
Yep.
I didn't know I was going to go. And in my head, I'm thinking, she is a nothing.
Yeah.
You can get rid of her anytime. Get rid of a big player like Christian.
Yeah.
I will say, when Dee left, and we really had to sit down and see what Tiff was going to do, I think she's done a great job at pivoting by aligning with Joe, but now getting under Cirie's armpit and being like, oh, Emily, that flip-flopping ass, let's take her out. I thought that was a really great pivot, and I think she'll be interesting to watch.
But it doesn't seem like they were all on the same page because they were all looking at each other with different votes that came out of that.
Yeah, and when the votes started coming in, I didn't know how it was going to go.
No.
Usually a lot of times it's like you figure out pretty quickly which way the votes are going to go. And so I was shocked that it ended up being Christian. I was like just felt terrible for him. It felt like to me when Cirie got voted out by default.
Where it was manipulated by the show and not anything he did.
That's what it felt like.
Yeah, I
That's what it
understand
felt
that.
like. It didn't feel fair. And he's a good player. I think if you had watched his previous season and watched him this whole season, maybe Kasey, you disagree, but I think you kind of grow to love him as this like socially awkward, super dorky, but he's trying the best that he can kind of guy. And so there's like, you have a little soft spot in your heart for him, but coming in a little colder on him as a character, I could see how you're like, I don't care about him.
Yeah, I remember not liking him when we first met him and eventually coming around to it because he's just giving it his best. But last night I was really sad watching what his character had turned into because he was just bitter.
Yeah. And I don't blame him, though. I was bitter.
So let's talk about the votes that came out. So before we knew our alliances a little bit, it looked like it shifted a little
Yeah,
bit.
how did the votes break down?
I
Kasey,
watched
do
it. I
you
stopped
know?
it and paused it.
So do you know who voted for who?
No, I should have.
I do.
You do.
I don't know any names.
Okay, help us.
I
We'll
mean,
help you.
as the host of All Girls Final, where we dig into Survivor, Emily, she voted for Ozzy.
Ozzy, yeah. So it must have been Emily and Devens.
Devens voted for
Okay.
Ozzy.
Yeah.
Then Ozzy and some other hulky guy
Jonathan.
voted
Jonathan, yeah.
Or
for
Joe.
voted for Devens, and then all the rest voted for Christian.
Yeah, I guess why did they throw
I thought
votes on
Ozzy-
Devens if they were going to, because I know there was initial
In
talk
case
of,
he had an idol just to like split the vote.
right, but if they were just going to, in case Christian had an idol?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because Christian and Devens are so tight, I think they were like,
Oh,
well,
okay.
what if he gives it to Christian to play? Or what if one plays it on the other to keep each other safe? So I think that's why they split the votes.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
still, it
okay.
wouldn't have worked because then Ozzy had votes on him as well.
Right.
So I don't think it would have worked
But
out.
Ozzy looked like
Yeah.
he was surprised.
Yeah, he did. Wait, who voted for him?
Emily and Devens.
Emily and Devens. Emily has got to go.
She definitely thought she had Cirie and Tiff.
Yeah,
Oh,
she did.
yeah.
She
And
felt very
she-
confident.
Oh my God, it's so funny the way that the first few episodes of this season, she was so rubbing elbows with Ozzy.
Well, like Cirie said, that's your day one. That's what she told her.
I
That's what
write
she told
down
Ozzy, I mean.
every single week. I write down for my $1 million mistake that it's Emily running her mouth, but she's still live, laugh, loving out there, and I don't know when she's going to get voted off this island.
Well, I said to Afton, I don't think she's a threat, but she could be one of those people that you never think she's a threat and floats all the way to the end because you're like, I don't want to take her out because I can beat her in another time.
Yeah, but we've seen that blow up in the end for
happen.
many players. I think she's not a threat. I think she's a liability to anyone who is aligned with her because she's so flip-floppy, and her last name is Flippin.
No, it is.
Yes, I think she's a liability to anybody who decides to put their eggs in that basket.
And I think everybody is just uncovering it one episode at a time. Like every single episode, somebody's getting burned by Emily running her mouth, and I don't know how long it's going to take for them to just pull it.
They didn't really show the jury much during any of it. Did you notice that?
No, we
Yeah, they
didn't
didn't
get
show much of Dee and Coach and Chrissy, which is fine. I don't really need to see that much of Coach and Chrissy, but
But just like, sometimes I like their reactions to things.
Yeah.
Like to me, that twist with Christian, I would have thought they would have been like, what is going on?
Yeah.
And by the way, terrible PR for Jimmy Fallon.
Oh, yeah.
it's not great.
I saw it on Threads last night. Everyone
Were
was
people
like,
mad?
"Oh yeah, like what did Jimmy Fallon do? I mean, I know who he is and whatever, but what did he do?" People are mad.
I think he is absolutely sending Christian an edible arrangement this week.
Yeah, I hope it's
He's
something a
feeling
little
bad.
better.
Yeah.
I mean, not that an edible arrangement isn't delicious because I do like them.
I mean, it's
course.
a fine
But maybe
treat.
a fruit pie. You know those,
Sure.
what are they? You know what I'm talking about? Where they have fruit on them and the cream cheese. Fruit cookies.
Yeah.
Free pizza.
Those are good. Those are better.
Those are real good.
Yeah, it was bad. So people were mad about the
Oh,
Jimmy-
they were
okay,
hot.
Good.
I mean,
Okay.
it was trending
Good.
last night. Well,
I was wondering.
I mean, I say it was trending. Was it, or is this what the algorithm
Or
I have
is
created?
it just what you're seeing?
It's trending in Survivor Nation, which
No,
is
it was
all
big.
that really matters.
Yeah. Can I bring up why are the hammock conversations so uncomfortable this year? Why is someone always on the ground and they're this
They're
close
like-
to each other's face? They always look like they're about to make out. I don't get why
I
it all
like that
goes down.
face. I would like you to zoom in on that. That was a pretty
It's
good
so
face.
true.
Or let's just get a picture
Yeah.
and put it
Right.
in there. Like, are they way too close?
There's always
Yeah.
one person
Space invading.
laying on a
Yes.
hammock, and then the next, maybe this hammock is just very low this year, but then the second person is always laying on the ground and they're looking at each other like this.
Now I want to pay attention.
And I'm
to
like,
it.
anybody in camp knows that you're talking game. Get away.
Yes,
Oh.
you're not being slick. One of my other notes that I made that made me laugh, I actually laughed out loud, was Cirie talking about Emily and the rice when they got in that argument over making the rice. And Cirie was like, Emily needs to take several seats. I have been making rice since before she was born. Don't tell me how to make the rice. I'm going to vote you out based on the rice alone. I was like, yes, Cirie.
Cirie is my winner of the week. She's
Same.
running laps around these losers. It's crazy. Every week, no
Yes.
one even blinks an eye at her.
And she sat and kind of went, I'm locked in with these people. I'm locked. Every single person thinks they are a close personal friend of Cirie and are going to the end with her. And I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
It would be just if for the 50th season,
If
Yes.
a
Cirie
player
won,
like Cirie is the winner.
I hope she's been at home making fire in her backyard. Like, I hope she came to this season so ready to take what's hers.
Yes, she deserves to win Survivor. She is the best player to never win.
I will tell you this, one thing that I told Afton that I wish they showed more of, because I think this just goes into what they're dealing with. You had no idea the hunger that they have. And that rice, like, to me, they don't look like, you don't see them struggling.
Right.
And I don't know how you show them struggling,
But they've done that for years. They could easily do that.
but I just didn't realize the rice thing was such a big deal until they were eating it. Like, it reminds me of a trip I took to the Dominican Republic. Can I tell you about it?
Yeah.
It was a resort. We were there 7 days, which is a long time. First time we ever went. And the Dominican hadn't quite figured things out like Cancun had yet. And we were there for a wedding, and the food was awful, like inedible.
Oh.
Everything was a little off, not right, warm. Everything was warm. The only thing I ate for a week straight was it had a place called Sports Bar. And Sports Bar had their version of pizza and maybe French fries. I lived on pizza and French fries. I was so hungry that Nick and I went and played golf one day, and we get to this beautiful course. We left the resort, and we just ordered a chicken sandwich from the cart girl, and they brought us it was the best chicken sandwich I've ever had. Nick and I were like, and we only ordered one, and we're both like trying to steal it. Like it is the best thing you've ever eaten in your life, and it could be mid. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, this rice, do they have salt? I mean,
Right.
And do they have anything to put on this
No.
rice? You know,
Rice out of a coconut.
Bland rice is not delicious.
No, but they are starving.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, I
Yeah.
had to take you. I thought you'd enjoy the journey
I
of
did.
Sports Bar.
Yeah, they never show the struggle anymore. They never show.
No.
No. So for
Yeah.
me, I don't, and for anybody that's come back to watching Survivor after leaving for seasons and not really seeing the toll it takes on them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can tell by their clothing. Oh, those pants Christian had on.
Oh,
Yeah.
Are those
Yeah.
his only pants?
Probably. He probably has like a pair of pants and a pair of shorts.
Okay.
But I want to, now that you mentioned clothing, I want to bring up how, I should say, the lack of blurring we're getting these days. Do you remember back in the day when just like a
When they were
boob would pop
scantily
out,
clad?
or like someone's
Somebody's
pants would get pulled down? Like, I felt like there was so much blurring of bodies happening back in the day, and
Yeah.
maybe it's because they've gotten tighter on the dress codes or whatever clothing they're allowing them to bring.
could be.
But I'm like, we're very covered compared to Parvati.
Oh, yeah.
We're very covered compared to
Oh, that's interesting.
the old days
Uh-huh.
when
Yeah.
it was just like bras and a buff.
Yeah, that's true. And speaking of clothing, what is going on with Jonathan's clothing?
I'm sick of his yogi robe style.
He's got a robe that makes me very uncomfortable when he wears it.
He's got a shirt that's got far too much of the neckline.
Like it's the biggest boat neck you've ever seen. And then he's got these patchwork pants. I'm like, is it like it's like half pirate, half like Ann Taylor Loft? I don't
Yeah.
know what is going on with this clothing.
Yeah, what would you wear? Because I also have the same problem with Emily's mustard yellow
Mock turtleneck. What are you doing?
Out of all the clothes, you're going to take one of the worst colors, first of all.
Yes.
You're going to be on TV the whole time. I mean, I know it's not a vanity thing, but it doesn't even look comfortable nor breathable.
Yeah,
it's like
what
a
are we
cotton.
doing?
It's like a
Yeah.
cotton mock turtleneck number.
Courtney came with photos.
I just looked that up. I found it because I'm like, that is a bad shirt.
I heard in an interview one time that it has to do with what your career is outside of the game, and if you are a returning player, what you wore your
Yes.
first season. So before you play the game, your producer or whoever's coordinating with you is going to be like, "Oh, Kasey, you're a radio host. You're this old. Let's put you in some band tees. Let's get you
Totally.
in a
How cool for you, by the way.
right, exactly."
That's
But-
why Rick Devens has a tie.
That's
Because he's
why-
a newscaster.
And that's why Christian is like got the robots on his shirt because he's a science
Oh, that's
professor.
funny.
And so I always think about Emily because she, I think, is also a scientist or so. She's got a very brainiac job outside of the game. And in her first season, she wore a turtleneck for that reason. So now she's back with the mock necks.
It's bad.
Well, it's hot.
It's hot.
It's hot.
She's doing the short sleeves, but you need that mock neck. I'd be going with Jonathan's neckline and cutting that thing up.
Why could she not cut it?
Probably not. If I
Or
were
a
her.
sleeveless turtleneck.
I
Those
just
pits breathe.
You know, Jonathan is actually, I noticed this last night, his style and his very direct attitude is starting to give me Coach.
I don't like it. I was kind of here for strategic Jonathan, and now
He's the
in the
kind of
last-
not smart guy that
but he's
is
like
now.
giant.
Yeah.
Now I'm like bothered by him. I think he's getting a little too cocky. He's kind of acting like he's running the game. I don't like it.
I don't like when he said he had notches in his belt.
I didn't like that either.
Wasn't somebody trying to get him out though?
Yeah.
That's why you saw him more.
yeah,
critical.
D and well, I don't think they were trying to get him, but
I thought Christian had him in his sights.
He did this week, kind of.
Yeah, I think Christian had him in his sights. Dee and Camilla wanted him to vote with them, and then he didn't. So then they were like, okay, well, Jonathon's got to go. But then he turned around and got them both. So I don't know. I'm just not loving Jonathon the way that I did his first time.
Yeah. I had one more note about the Devens fake idol. I don't know why, as Devens, because now he chose not to play it last night.
After telling everyone at Tribal, I'll be playing it.
Did he not? Does he have an idol?
No, it's fake.
Okay.
But so now the target is bigger on him because he said he was going to play it and didn't. So everybody's going to be mad at him.
Do they believe him for sure that he has one?
I don't know, but here's what I think he should have done. Why not just play it, and then Jeff will go, "This is not an immunity idol," and then
you're done.
Well, and then you play it off as, I guess I got duped. Somebody who's gone already set me up. You know, a Genevieve or a
you still have to continue the storyline.
I've had the thought of what I want him to do or wish that he would have done last week after he pulled it out of the rocks and everybody went about their way and didn't vote for him. I understand why he wouldn't do it last week just in case there was a tie and a revote. But I wished at least last night he would have stood up with everybody and said, okay, I'm about to play my idol, and then just toss it in the fire and say, but it's actually fake. Christian and I planted it there. I don't have an idol. That way, you're safe from last night's vote. You've outed yourself, but you've also added that move to your resume. I duped you all. Yeah. And I don't have an idol, so I really shouldn't have that big of a target.
Right. He needed holding on to it, and I think he's trying to get one more use out of it, and I think that's a bad call.
And now it's going to be the storyline next week.
Yeah, I think it's a bad move.
I wrote down, I have to know what Devens is planning to do with this idol, because no matter what he chooses from here, it's going to be slimy.
Yep. Agreed.
And next week, when you watch on the next episode, is that what
Stay tuned for scenes from our next episode.
There you go. Looks like we got Mr. Beast coming.
Yeah, that's
what
where
was
I tuned
his thing called?
out. Beast Games or Beast Survivor?
His is called the Super Duper Double Advantage something. He had some stupid name for it, and I just wanted to throw my television out the door.
Yeah, maybe I'm just not on the Mr. Beast bandwagon, so I don't really know what he's about other than spending money or giving away money.
Giving away money, yeah.
I don't think, he's got a lot of people that don't like him.
And there was some sort of spinoff with Survivor called like Beast Games or something.
He had had an Amazon show called Beast Games, and fine, but I don't remember exactly what it's called because I was so angry. But it sounded like something that's going to screw everything up again, which made me really mad.
Yeah. Someone commented on Spotify on our comments and said, I bet there will be so many big twists where multiple people go home each week just because we still have a large amount of people.
It's true.
And we only have a few weeks left in the game. So I can only imagine. I bet Mr. Beast sends like 5 people home at once.
I can't.
Before we like fully finish, I wanted to talk about Christian's goodbye message. This is as close as we got to a Kasey crying moment because at the end of every episode, they'll say, or they'll sit down with the camera and say, I'm so glad I came, no regrets, YOLO, and then they'll go to Ponderosa. I like that Christian took this opportunity and pointed it at his newborn at home.
So sweet.
And was like, I'm so happy you'll get to see this someday. I'm not mad I got voted out. I'm glad I got to play because you'll get to watch it.
So
that
cute.
was so sweet.
I liked when he was talking to him, too, about making bad decisions and you're going to make mistakes.
That was so
All
sweet.
right. You would think that would carry me over, but then he did other things that bothered me. But I did like that. I thought that was a sweet moment. It's true.
Yeah.
And no one ever does
helps
that.
you succeed sometimes.
Yes.
Yeah. No one ever gets creative with their goodbye message, but because he never talked about his kid or revealed his kid to anyone else while he was on the island.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I think that made it it wrapped his game up in a nice bow.
All right. Well, next week we'll be back discussing Survivor 50.
And hopefully Afton likes it more.
And maybe
Beast doesn't
will
ruin
I
it.
watch? That's the question.
Stay tuned.
Go ahead and place your bets. You can message. You can make a comment. I enjoyed it last night. I really did.
Good.
That's good because the odds are usually against you watching it.
Yeah, but I think I forget about it. So
I'll text you.
as long as I can remember. I walk into the kitchen and I forget things. So, but really entertaining episode, even though Afton hated it. Sorry for all the Christian fans out there that he went home. But we'll be back next week with All Girls Final.